I was in ballet. I was at Georgia Dance Conservatory for 10 years, and for the most part, I think there were maybe only 3 black girls, including me, in company, and none of them had natural hair. When you're in company as a ballet dancer, you have to have this sleek bun, and at the time, natural hair products weren't like super in, so I didn't know that there was a way to still look professional or polished as a dancer and still have natural hair at that time, even though I was planning on transitioning when I was in 8th grade, and then I officially started transitioning my 9th grade year and then became natural my 10th grade year. I kind of struggled with that image of black girls have to have long hair to be pretty or whatever, and I wanted to challenge that and tell myself that I don't need long hair to be pretty or to feel comfortable with myself. So I decided to grab a pair of shears from my mom's drawer and then just started chopping at the transitioning parts. I went through times of like being really happy about my decision and then kind of feeling bad about my decision because my parents didn't want me to do it myself. They wanted me to let it grow out, but I was kind of, obsessed is a strong word, but seeing what I looked like with short hair, and it was different. Some people would be like, oh, I miss your long hair. Some people have a lot of prejudices towards people of color there. It's not implicit, like you can tell. Like people will outright tell you like, oh, your hair looks gross, or why do you do that, or a lot of different really negative and somewhat racial things towards you. It's a learning curve, that's all I'm gonna say. But it had a positive effect on my overall racial identity in the long run. And I feel like everybody, it doesn't matter what skin color you are, like whatever your hair texture is, you just have to appreciate yourself, even though that sounds kind of self-centered, but that's really embracing your diversity and embracing whoever you are as a person. That's really important.
Actually, it was so funny. Like I don't know, I don't like I'm very like I said, I kind of was like I don't wear makeup. I was like, I'll get like it's not gonna be like, oh my god, she doesn't have hair anymore, blah blah blah. Like so, I think for it was like irrational, obviously, but I was kind of like, like, am I gonna look different? I was like, personally, I was like, is this what I don't know. For me personally, being in the South, all that stuff, like it just kind of like, you know, my friend group, like they're like, what, everyone has like the silky hair, like they're like, oh, we love your weave, like, oh, we love this, and I was like, well, I'm about to be bald, guys. And so I even remember like that's literally what I thought. I was like I was gonna be bald, and like my hairdresser Lashonda was like, it's the big chop, not the big shave, and I was like, you're right. Like, so I don't have any regrets. I grew up in kind of what we'd like a predominantly Caucasian, kind of middle upper class neighborhood. So it's always been, the standard beauty was like blonde hair, blue eyes. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I got weave because that's what was defined in beauty, like the long hair, wind blowing, lusciousness. And also I'm African American, like I'm Nigerian, and so like what I mean, just kind of like my parents who were like, get the perm, do this, get the weave, you need to look kept, like blah blah blah. And actually that was really funny because my mom, when I first came, like my dad obviously didn't like mind, but when my mom didn't see it, she didn't know I got the big chop. I didn't tell her, I didn't tell my parents. So the first time she saw it was Thanksgiving. And my dad, like when he picked me up, he was like, he started laughing, but he was like, I mean, it looks good, I don't mind it. But he was like, your mom, she didn't see this in her dreams. Don't do the rasta rasta. That's what she'd kind of say, like short, like someone like looking back at the village. You know what I mean? Like the kind of short, kinky, dried up hair. And I think she didn't know that you could also have like natural hair that you took care of it could become like really healthy and really nice and compliment me. So she's kind of been like adapting to that. Even though like I have these in right now, it's actually, I didn't relax it. It's actually to kind of help my natural hair grow more. Like I won't speak for all Nigerians again, but I think if you think about it, just westernization as a whole, like from time to time, like, you know, you see like, oh, in the movies, the beautiful hair, silky hair, pressed on hair, hence the perms, you know, the weaves, the extensions. And I don't know, Nigeria was a British colony. Like, that was, you know what I mean, like, kept blah blah blah. Like, even when you see, like, sometimes I'll go back home, you see people like, obviously they have their ngili, like the wraps and everything, that's fine. Like, I totally love that too. But like, I also see like perm, like this like, and like it was like maybe people who maybe weren't as like upper social class, sometimes they'd have like just the fro or something like that. I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely like, in the end, I just want to preface with saying, like, you know, like, you allow yourself to feel a certain way. Yes, like, people can do things to trigger that, but in the end, like, you allow yourself to feel that way about what's, like, people didn't say anything, but like what you fear, you know what I'm saying? So like, for all I know, I could have been natural, they would have been all right, fine. But like, I think for me, my age, I'm very, like, I'm the kind of person that has like FOMO, like, you know, fear of missing out. I definitely want to belong to a certain extent. Like, I definitely want to kind of like ease in. Like, I won't like sacrifice a lot to belong, but, you know, I'm definitely like, can be a people pleaser. Like, I'll spread myself thin for others. So the fact of maybe like being like different, like, oh my God, like her hair, like, I was so like, keep that, like, wrap that up, perm, swimming, perm, like, whew, yeah, I don't know. I think I wouldn't change any way of how I was raised or how I grew up at all. I think it made me who I am today. And like, you know, I've worked 21 years, I guess, to still have a lot of work to do, but I think God has a role in everything. So, but it definitely like I had to get some thick skin. So for me as a Nigerian, I think for my experience, I was just kind of like, you know, like, it is who I am. Like, I still come to, like, my parents came to America, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can try to like do as much as I can, but like, if I'm not like happy in my own skin and my own being, and like, you know what I mean? Like, if everyone wanted to be the same, there'd be no diversity. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I've just realized that like, why be a, like, you know, fake replica when you could just be an authentic original, you know what I mean? And like, embrace that and be the best version of yourself. I think, you know, before I was kind of like, this is the standard of beauty, either match or like, you know, we have some outliers. Now it's kind of like different forms of beauty.